What if I told you some animals are weirder architects than anything humans could dream up? Imagine a beehive made entirely of meat, or a house glued together with sand, pebbles, and tiny shells. Picture a nest 20 feet wide, bigger than a pickup truck, and another built by an animal using its own body. Some creatures even use their kids like glue guns to hold their homes together. Then there's a tiny half-inch animal that builds a tower taller than a giraffe. In this new episode of Forever Green, we'll show you 15 most unique nests and hives you've ever seen. From nests that cost $100 to ones equipped with fake doors to trick predators. These are real homes built by real animals. Ready to see the wildest, weirdest nests and hives on Earth? Let's go! 15. Sociable weaver nest. Apartment living isn't just for humans. Meet the sociable weaver, a tiny bird that builds giant nest cities in Africa's deserts. These sparrow-sized birds team up to build apartment complexes out of sticks and dry grass, some stretching over 20 feet wide. These structures look like haystacks tossed into trees, but inside are hundreds of separate rooms for families. One nest can weigh as much as a pickup truck. Sometimes they get so heavy they snap the tree they're built on. The nests hang from trees, poles, or cliffs like messy piñatas. Each chamber has its own entrance, keeping neighbors close but not too close. The thick outer walls block roasting desert heat while the inside stays cool, like nature's own air-conditioned condo. Building takes years, with generations adding new layers. Snakes and hawks struggle to break through the thorny outer layer, making it a fortress with room service. 14. Cathedral termite mounds. If you thought skyscrapers were a human invention, think again. In Australia's outback, cathedral termites build towers taller than giraffes, some over 26 feet high. A single mound can weigh as much as 3 cars. These spiky mounds look like something from Mad Max, but they're made of dirt, termite spit, and, well, termite poop. Each mound is a bug-sized city housing 1 million termites. The walls are rock hard. You need a drill to break in, but they're full of tiny holes. These holes act like natural air conditioning, pulling cool air up from the bottom and keeping the nest perfect for raising baby termites. No AC bills here. The termites never stop working. They repair cracks, dig tunnels, and farm fungus inside. Outside, the mounds face north-south to avoid the brutal sun, like a giant termite compass. Next time you see a termite hill, remember it's not just dirt. It's a bug-built Empire State Building. 13. Elf owl cactus nest. Who needs a security system when your home is a cactus? The elf owl, the tiniest owl on Earth, no bigger than a soda can, moves into ready-made apartments inside saguro cacti. Saguro cacti can grow 40 feet tall, and their soft, hollowed-out centers are perfect hideouts. The elf owl doesn't build the nest, it steals it. They steal homes from woodpeckers that already hollowed out the cactus. The cactus protects the owl from snakes and bigger birds. The cactus walls are lined with needles, keeping raccoons and snakes out better than any locked door. But if a predator gets too close, the owl hisses like a snake to scare them off. Inside the owl's nest stay cool even when outside temperatures hit 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Found in the Sonoran Desert of Arizona and Mexico, elf owls prove that sometimes the best homes come with a no vacancy sign, unless you're brave enough to live in a spiky skyscraper. If you liked this video so far, leave a like, and you can also check out 15 most amazing and largest nests in the animal world on our channel Forever Green. 12. Army ant bivouac. Forget bricks and cement. Army ants build their homes with their own bodies. They don't build nests, they become the nest. Thousands of worker ants lock legs and jaws to form a living, breathing fortress called a bivouac. The tangled ball of ants forms a protective shield around their queen and larvae, much like a football team gathering around their star player. These ants are nomads. They don't stay in one place for long. Every few weeks, the whole colony packs up and moves, rebuilding their bivouac in a new location overnight. The outer layer is tough, armored ants. Inside, it's soft and safe for the babies. Worker ants rotate shifts, swapping places with those on the outer layer to prevent exhaustion. The queen sits safely at the center, laying eggs non-stop. If you poke at it, the bivouac reacts like a beating heart. The ants quickly move to repair any gap instantly. There's no glue, no sticks, just pure teamwork. When it's time to move, the whole colony unravels and marches in a stream, like a creepy crawly river. 11. Edible nest. Swiftlet. What's the most expensive soup ingredient in the world? Bird spit. The edible nest swiftlet of Southeast Asia builds its nest entirely from dried saliva, glued to cave walls. These clear, bowl-shaped nests are so prized, people risk climbing cliffs to steal them for soup that costs up to $100 a bowl. The birds spend weeks spitting out sticky threads to make these nests. They look like crunchy jelly and feel like stiff lace. After laying eggs, the nests are abandoned until harvesters scrape them off with bamboo poles. Yes, people eat them. When boiled in broth, the nests transform into a soft and slimy texture, similar to noodles made of snot. Odd as it may sound, it's considered a delicacy. Their nests once fed emperors. Now they're a status symbol for the rich. But there's more to these birds. Found in dark caves from Thailand to Indonesia, these birds navigate pitch-black tunnels using echolocation like bats. 10. Eastern tent caterpillar. What if I told you caterpillars build their own sunbathing resorts? The eastern tent caterpillar builds a silky sleepover camp in tree branches. These bugs spin thick, white webs that look like giant cotton candy stuck between branches. But it's not just for show. The nest traps heat, turning it into a cozy sauna for hundreds of hungry roommates. These black and orange caterpillars live in colonies. By day, they crawl out to munch on cherry or apple leaves. By night, they return to their tents, keeping warm even on cool spring nights. The web's sticky threads also keep out birds and bugs, like a force field made of spider silk. As the caterpillars grow, their tents expand with new layers added like a messy kid's bunk bed. Found all over North America, their nests pop up in early spring. Farmers hate them for eating fruit trees, but the caterpillars don't care. They'll strip a branch bare, then march to the next one like a fuzzy army. 9. Caddisfly larval case. Move over, Picasso. There's a tiny artist living in your local stream. These underwater architects glue together sand, pebbles, and even tiny shells using silk they make themselves. The result is a portable tube-shaped home that looks like a mini mosaic. These cases aren't just art, they're armor. Fish and frogs struggle to bite through the hard shell, and the gritty camouflage hides the larvae in plain sight. If a predator gets too close, the larvae zips its door shut with silk, like closing a sleeping bag. Each case is unique, fingerprint made from river debris. Some larvae select shiny bits of quartz, while others prefer twigs or snail shells. They drag their rocky suits everywhere, poking their heads out to eat algae. It's like a snail shell, but way more creative. Found in clean freshwater worldwide, these bugs are nature's construction crew. When it's time to grow, they just add more silk and stone to their portable homes. Some artists collaborate with caddisfly larvae, placing them in tanks with goldfish or gems. 8. Weaver ant nest. Who needs a sewing machine when you've got baby ants? Weaver ants in Africa and Asia stitch leaves into cozy tree houses, using their kids as glue guns. Workers grab edges of leaves, pull them together, then squeeze larvae to make silk. The silk works like thread, sewing the leaves into waterproof tents. The nests look like creased green bags and treetops. Rain slides right off, and the tight joints keep out hungry lizards and birds. Inside, hundreds of ants guard their queen and eggs, ready to bite anything that pokes through the walls. The ants are picky architects. They choose healthy leaves, avoid thorny plants, and even test the silk's strength. If a storm rips the nest, they'll rebuild it overnight. Some weaver ant colonies use the same nest for decades, repairing and expanding them like tiny landlords. These ants are fierce protectors. Farmers love them. They attack crop-eating bugs, so people hire them as pest control. Before we move on to our next selection, we invite you to check out our video on 12 insane nests built by insects. Now, let's get back to our list. 7th. Meadow spittlebug foam nest. Meet the meadow spittlebug, a tiny bug that lives inside a blob of foam. These baby bugs blow bubbles from their butts, creating a foamy spit nest that hides them from hungry birds and the hot sun. The foam that looks like spit is actually made from plant sap mixed with a special fluid produced by the bugs. They pump air into this mixture, much like whipping up a bug-sized cappuccino. The result is a sticky, bubbly hideout that keeps them moist, cool, and safe. Birds and bugs hate the taste of the foam, so they leave it alone. Rain can't wash it away, and even frost struggles to freeze it. The spittlebugs stay snug inside, sucking sap from stems like they're sipping juice through a straw. Found in meadows and gardens worldwide, these foam blobs stick around all summer. People call it cuckoo spit because it shows up when cuckoo birds sing in spring. 6. Leaf-curling spiderweb. Who says recycling is a modern idea? Australia's leaf-curling spider turns trash into a penthouse suite. These clever critters grab a dead leaf, wraps it in silk like a burrito, and roll it into a tiny tube, like a sleeping bag, hanging in their web. The silk they use is stretchy and stronger than some types of steel. The spider sits inside the curled leaf, peeking out the bottom. When a bug gets stuck in the web, the spider rushes out to grab its meal. The silk-lined leaf hides it from birds and keeps rain off like a tiny umbrella. For baby spiders, Mom builds a second leaf nursery nearby. She stuffs it with eggs and guards it like a security guard. Sometimes these spiders get creative. They'll use old paper scraps or candy wrappers if leaves are scarce. MacGyver would be proud. Found in Aussie forests and gardens, these spiders are masters of disguise. Their webs blend into trees, making the leaf look like just another piece of debris. 5th. Potter wasp nest. Who needs a grocery store when you're a potter wasp? These solo artists build tiny clay pots, smaller than a grape, and stuff them with paralyzed caterpillars. It's like meal prepping, but for baby wasps. Using mud and spit, the female sculpts each pot by hand, shaping it into a perfect vase. She's part artist, part hunter. After building the pot, she hunts caterpillars, stings them to freeze, and piles them inside. Then she lays one egg, seals the pot, and flies off. When the egg hatches, the larva has a fresh bug buffet. Here there's no teamwork. Each mother operates solo, acting as a one-wasp construction crew all by herself. These pots look like ancient pottery, complete with narrow necks and rounded bellies. They're glued to walls, twigs, or rocks. Found worldwide, potter wasps avoid humans but love gardens. Their stings are mild, so they're like the nice guys of the wasp world. Fourth, Penduline tit nest. That's exactly what the Penduline tit does with its nest, a masterpiece of avian spycraft. These tiny birds craft soft, stretchy pouches using spider silk, plant fluff, and even animal hair. The nest hangs from a branch like a fuzzy pear with a hidden entrance at the top and a fake door at the bottom to fool snakes and squirrels. The real entrance is a tiny slit near the top, almost invisible. Inside, it's lined with feathers and cotton, softer than a pillow. The spider silk makes the nest stretch as the chicks grow, like a cozy sleeping bag that expands. Some Penduline tits steal silk from active spider webs, nature's version of shoplifting, to make their homes extra tough. Dad builds the nest, but if he does a bad job, Mom abandons him and starts over. Harsh. Found in Europe and Asia, these nests are so well hidden, even scientists struggle to spot them. Third, paper wasps. Nest. Paper wasps build nests that look like upside-down umbrellas made from chewed wood mixed with spit. The result is a gray, wrinkled masterpiece glued under roof eaves or tree branches. Each nest is a tiny apartment complex with open hexagonal cells where the queen lays her eggs. Workers guard the nest fiercely, buzzing around like bouncers at a club. They'll sting repeatedly if you get too close. The queen picks the nest site, but workers do all the heavy lifting. If they slack off, she'll bully them into working faster. Talk about a tough boss. The nests start small in spring but grow all summer, adding new cells like a sticky honeycomb. The paper is waterproof and surprisingly strong. Rain slides off and wind barely shakes it. Inside, larvae munch on chewed-up caterpillars brought by worker wasps. No takeout needed, just a fresh bug smoothie. Second, Montezuma oropendola. Imagine Christmas decorations but made by birds. The Montezuma oropendola of Central America weaves nests so long they look like skinny piñatas hanging from trees. These nests swing in the breeze, some stretching 6 feet, taller than most humans. Males build them to impress females, skillfully braiding vines and grass into hanging baskets. Females judge males by their nest building skills. Mess up the weave? No date. A single tree can hold dozens of nests, clanging together like wind chimes. Inside, each nest is a cozy pocket for eggs, safe from monkeys and snakes below. The birds pick trees guarded by angry wasps or biting ants. The nests sway so much, predators get dizzy trying to climb. If a storm hits, the nests bounce instead of breaking. Flexible engineering at its best. First, Vulture beehive. Who says bees only make honey from flowers? Meet the vulture bees of Central and South America, nature's weirdest chefs. These bees don't collect nectar, instead they fly to dead animals, suck up rotting meat, and turn it into meat honey. Their hives look like sticky, dark blobs made of plant resin, filled with a gooey, protein-packed honey. Think of it as zombie jam. Normal bees store flower nectar in wax combs, but vulture bees store meat juice in little pots made of resin and wax. The meat honey isn't for humans, it's super acidic and smells bad, but it feeds their young. These bees even have extra bacteria in their guts to help digest the rotting meat safely. Found in rainforests from Costa Rica to Brazil, these bees avoid stinging but will bite if threatened. Their hives are hidden in tree trunks or underground. Scientists call them the trash collectors of the bee world. Next time you see honey, remember, not all bees play by the rules. If you thought these nests were wild, Wait until you see what else nature's architects can do. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating adventures from 4 Evergreen.